Now can I get that? Okay, now we have audio on the analog audio. And now we have audio on the mic. Now we have audio on the mic. Now can I get that? Okay, now we have audio on the analog audio. And now we have audio on the mic. Well, I would hope to test if I had my headphones plugged in. On the mic. Okay, can you hear me? We're good to go. Well, I would hope to test if I had my headphones plugged in. On the mic. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. Okay, can you hear me? We're good to go. Well, I would hope to test if I had my headphones plugged in. On the mic. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. Okay, can you hear me? We're good to go. Well, I would hope to test if I had my headphones plugged in. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be looking today at Max Heinzer, who has retired, I think, in the last quad, not even this quad, and is known for really just insanely athletic touches, ridiculous flicks, hitting from any possible angle. And I want to talk about how he was so good at that and how he was still really using, let's center this, good fencing principles to score his touches, and in the sense that a good core fencing isn't about how you hit, but how you set up the hit is both harder and more important. He was less of a weird fencer than many people give him credit for. They think, wow, how did Max Heinzer do this? It was crazy. It was so unusual. Is it possible to replicate? It is, in fact, not easy to replicate, but very possible to replicate, because the things that made his game good weren't his reliance on flicks and back flicks and weird parries, but strong fundamentals. We're going to talk about things like minimizing motion. We're going to talk about things like precise distance control. We're going to talk about things like forcing your opponent to respond in a way that you control. We're going to talk about things like minimizing their options, all sorts of stuff. We're going to look at a bunch of his touches on the database with a quick by tour into how to use it. Before I get started, shout outs to my sponsor, backflicking.de. Code robotklingen, which you can't quite read, but ROBOTKLINGEN. 5% off all kinds of stuff. Primarily blades. They also have a new glove lineup. They also have a wireless fencing from Caliber Fencing. Come hang out in the Discord. I'm there. I'm at least lurking there a lot. If you have questions about fencing, questions about the stream, questions about your own fencing, always happy to talk. Let's see. So this is the database. Quick overview on how to use this. Scoring fencer's first name is the fencer you're interested in. That's Max. Heinzer. Weapon is épée, but if the name is more common, you can filter. Gender, tournament, year, very obvious. Score is a fun one. You know, how often did Max get his 14th touch? Opposing score, how did Max do when it was 14, for example? Opponent's last name is the person he scored on. If, for example, you want to see all the ways Max got hit, you would clear these fields, and then you would put his name in the opponent's last name. So this would give you all of the touches Max got scored on, which is going to be worth checking out a bit later. Let's start with scoring fencer's last name. Grab 5 random ones to start with. Okay, what do we got here? We got Jan Sisch versus Max Heinzer. Not a great camera work. But Max is doing a lot of... He's got... This is the Koch style extended arm that Max has sort of made his own, where he's extending his arm to force Sisch to work at that extended level. At the same time, as Max advances very, very small steps, phenomenally small steps, which is just good discipline, Jan counterattacks. You can see that here, and Max is perfectly balanced, ready to go backwards. And he's not overreacting to any of the counterattacks. Sisch goes to the foot, Max goes back far enough. Sisch goes to the hand, Max pulls it back, and only the hand. Like that. And then as we scroll in on the side, Sisch overcommits, Max sees it coming, and just easy finish touch. And this isn't weird fencing except for how oppressive it is. Max is just completely smothered Sisch and just walks him down the strip. And you can fence like this. Small steps are a thing you can work on all on your own. Not overreacting, staying balanced, good basics, especially the small steps and the staying balanced are 2 really easy things to implement at any level that will just get you a billion touches. Like if your opponent counterattacks and you go backwards and you're ready to immediately go forwards again, it's free. Just absolutely free. Next up. We got Stankiewicz, another Ukrainian. We get 2 for 1 here because of the way the database works. This second touch is the one that's focused on, but it's just so quick that I add a bit of context from the previous one. Easy counterattack blockout. This is actually, same kind of deal. If you look at this first touch, Max's 4 is coming like this. Max's 4 is coming like this. And this is a tiny motion that covers an enormous amount of target. Now we got Alex Fava, phenomenally clean French fencer. And once again, Max staying balanced, keeping his leg bent. One important thing that he's doing here is not overcommitting. A lot of people, when they get their opponent at the back line, will start pushing and pushing and pushing and just not even pushing, just YOLO attack, thinking, hey, they can't retreat, I got them. They can still parry. So Max is just keeping the pressure on here. And then you can see he's going low, taking the blade low with him. But it's so small, he's able to get 2, 3, 4 actions in. While still keeping his tip on target. 1, 2, 3. he's able to keep not control of the blade, but able to follow the disengages and blade movement of Fava because his blade is so clean. One of the things I like to think about when I'm fencing and trying to do this is keep your bell in front of you. You take 6, bell stays in front of you. You take 4, you take 8, bell stays in front of you. If you take 6 and you end up here, you can't repose. If you take 6 and 4 and you end up here, you can't repose. Here we got one of the aggressive ones. Nikishin, an extremely chill fencer, another very precise one. Heinzer just really making use of the piece here. He's forward, he's back. And what this massive distance gain gives him is control. If Nikishin isn't willing to follow Max at this as far back as he goes, they're only engaging when Max wants to. It's a super high energy level of fencing, but it works really well if you can keep it up. And so Nikishin comes forward, Max pushes him back. Nikishin comes forward just because there's so much space. Max pulls him back. And then finish right there. I'm not even sure what he's doing. This is from 2019, which is just a few years into the database project. And so the quality is kind of eh. Now, Max isn't really making a threat here. He's just closing, random beat just to keep him thinking. Closing, opening, closing. And then all of a sudden, as he goes in and out, they go a little bit too far in. Nikishin goes low, and Max has the high line and scores. So it looks like a crazy touch. And all of this motion is really insane. But it's not hard. You can do this. Anybody can do this if you're moderately athletic. You don't have to be good at fencing to be an extremely active fencer like this. Far back, push close. And then far back and push close. It'll burn all your energy for about 4 months. And then, if you're in the gym, you get used to it. A smooth transition right into Thomas Koch from 2020. Talked about him earlier. He's a guy who loves to fence with his arm all the way out like that. And what this does, from Koch's perspective, is forces engagement with the blade and forces engagement with the blade from a distance. And then, because you're engaging at a distance, you have to make a commitment to an action. And this is just more clean fencing from Heinzer. What do we got? You got a blade comes out. Max knows Koch's going to go backwards with it, and he's so clean with his blade. It's a 2 forward, but it's the same thing as before. It's a tiny 2 forward. It's not a 2 forward, which is a very big slow action, and would give Koch time to respond. It's a 2 forward with, an extremely explosive flesh, which you can also, is not like a weird thing to have. It's a great thing to have, but it's not a weird thing to have. Okay, we got all of those. So we're going to click this. And I have random fencer buttons I forgot about. Ooh, Yannick Borel. We'll do a few more of these and we'll pull maybe that famous park video. There we go. He's pulling him in. And then he comes back expecting an attack. And he's so quick that he's out. He comes back expecting an attack. Borel ends up too close. Because when Max pulls his arm back, it there's a big difference in the feel between this on guard and this on guard, the distance feel. And so Max pulls his arm back, and Yana keeps going forward. Max does not move; just moves his arm, and that lets him come in with the flick flesh. But the flick flesh is whatever. It's not about the flesh. It's about the setup beforehand. Like he's pulling in that free four. Like Yannick, maybe he's not even doing it for. He pulls his arm all the way back, but he keeps his bell in line so he can just go right back out again. This one's just pure speed. Jen goes for the foot. Max just sees his opportunity to go straight. Just clean. Extension goes forward. Flesh goes forward. Lunge goes forward. Lachlan click up 5-1. Holy cow. This is late in Max's career. Max playing with the distance. Just smooth. He's smooth. Like that's also something you can work on. Transition from step to lunge. Clean, arm first, go through. And distance. That's all there is to it. Six-0 against Enrico Piatti. Max, wow. That's worth looking at just right there because of how fast Max went forward. And then, oh, he got hit. Oh, anyway, still worth looking at even if he got hit. Because watch this footwork. Max stays balanced all the way through that. And all of a sudden, Piatti's in his warning strip. Max gets a little impatient, but the idea is there. Like that's as good as a saber at slow fast. Let's see if we can find on YouTube for Max. That's me. Holy cow, almost at 50,000 views. Of course, he's at twice as many. Ooh. Kanan versus Heinzer. This will be good. Even if he loses. Okay, here we go. Quick early flush from Kanan. Just an absolute energizer bunny of a fencer is Heinzer. Another thing to look at here that just jumped out at me, which you can implement in your own fencing very easily, is that the en garde is not a static position. And honestly, oh my god, that was phenomenal. The en garde is not a static position. It is a tool you use to further your goals on the fencing strip, by which I mean specifically the position of your hand. Coaches will teach you en garde like this, and it's a good base for an en garde. But look at Max's hand. It's out here, it's down here, it's up here, it's up here. He's using it as a tool maybe more than anybody else, to get the touches he wants. Certainly more variety than anybody else. And you can do that. You don't have to know exactly why you're doing it. Just mess around with different positions. Make sure, don't go as crazy as Max, but in and out and in and out will get you a lot of touches. Worth experimenting with if you don't give your coach an aneurysm. And that was a good one. That was high on the on guard and then low on the counterattack. And it's a crazy touch. It really is. But it comes because his positioning is so good. His steps are tiny. It's really easy to go high like this, really aggressively, and then not be able to stop yourself and run yourself onto your opponent's tip. And this, he goes high, low, all from the elbow, which we'll probably talk about too, for sure, where all his actions are either from the wrist or from the elbow. And none of it is, there's no, he's not using his whole arm to take a parry. His wrist, even the big tight parries, cover your whole body with just your elbow. You don't have to go move your elbow at all. Lots of distance changes. There's high, there's low. So look how much his hand is moving. Double there. Kind of a desperation double from Kanon, honestly. Really good touch from Kanon. Low, high flick on the wrist. High precision touch. That one is hard to replicate. The Heinzer stuff is, for all looks crazy, is easier to replicate. Sign up for my... Oh! Heinzer just too aggressive there. Not patient enough. Anyway, sign up for my course and I can guarantee you... guaranteed... I don't even... Sorry, trying to get the sentence out. Excellent. So that was just fast, slow, fast from Kanon. Fast push, slow. Heinzer comes forward. Kanon attacks into that step forward. Just good, clean fencing. Anyway, sign up for my course to get guaranteed foot touches, guaranteed wrist touches from any distance. Kanon is just... I forget what the term is. I forget what language it's in, but it's just they're leveling each other now. Where Heinzer is going high, low, and Kanon is going high, low, front, back, and whoever takes the sequence one step farther is winning. Take one more look at this. Yeah. Just so that was crazy. But did you see what happened there? Just the tiniest step back from Heinzer. Kanon in honestly not a great lunge. And this is why you should extend first, because if you extend backwards, your opponent has time to jump back and make you miss. And they're in full point in line. Six disengage go, very clean disengage. Kanon is also really good with his tip. Would have been a single for Heinzer against most people, I think. Yeah, sign up for my course and you can do wrist touches like that too. The theme of this stream is definitely the things Heinzer does aren't that weird, but he's still really good. And that's an example of just being really good. Like, you're not a wild fencer and able to perfectly hit the wrist like that. I'm gonna watch the sequence again. And I want you to watch his feet. I don't have a drawing thing. Watch Heinzer's feet and watch the spacing between them. As he aggressively comes forward. But his feet are this far apart, and they're this far apart, and they're this far apart, and they're the same farness apart, and his knees are bent. It's a very, very clean on guard from a footwork perspective. And you can get this too if you just work at it. And it just, so many benefits. And that's how he's able to do a lot of his weird stuff, because it starts from this such a good base. His hand is everywhere, but his feet are always under him. Flickmaster is the name of a blade. I genuinely can't remember if it's the Heinzer blade or the Golubitsky blade. Really good high-low from Kanon. So Kanon's got range, and Heinz is trying to do that forward back he did against Koch, and Kanon is just not letting him come forward enough to really threaten. So this is the counter is, yeah, that's a touch. That's just Heinz just holding and holding and holding, and that's just patience and smart. And you can be patient and smart if you want to as well. Into the first. Wild. Now we've got a much more slow, patient Max. I didn't really notice it till we started doing this stream, but the variety in his fencing is another big, another really big part of his success. Max is equally at home charging you and pulling you and just not doing anything, waiting for you to feel the pressure. Really good by Kanon there, just to avoid all of Max's blade work until he's ready to go. So Max just unwilling to engage in the highline entirely in this bout, so just going low every time. He's gotten Kanon to miss over the shoulder at least once. This is a classic. Just completely hiding behind his bell. Call this turtling up. So that was another good one, actually. I think it was here. Kanon is going to go low, very surprisingly. And Max is ready for it. That was it right there. Not here, but this one. And look at Max. Kanun goes low, full range, full speed. Heinzer's on balance and takes a step back and remains balanced. It's really easy to pull your front foot back or to jump backwards or to bend, straighten your legs as you go backwards. Just got to stay knees bent. Kanun doing good there with another one there. Kanun threatening high and going low, and Heinzer not quite able to deal with the pressure. I have no idea what that was. That was Heinzer going 4 around, like clean again. That's a really hard touch to do 4 around and get your point on target in time. And I think another duck that Kanun hit over the top. Missed over the top. Same kind of deal. Good clean footwork. Little jump forward, Kanun sticks his blade out. Heinzer's looking for it, beat go. Maybe that was a 6 go. Heinzer's all the way back on his own on guard line. Kanun hasn't even crossed the half point yet. Heinzer really wants a blade engagement, but he's not letting it mess with his footwork. Yeah. Too eager from Heinzer. Didn't quite give himself enough time. And Heinzer flush. Not Heinzer flush. Kanun flush. Let's do a couple more. Fucking A. This is one of the Lombardo brothers, Francisco. Don't remember a lot about how he fences. But Heinzer giving him a lot of respect. I think it was at this tournament. No. In 2023, I think. No. Very patient from Heinzer. See, it's a whole minute of nothing because he's not feeling the situation, which is normal enough. Shows he has patience and intelligence. Ooh, clean from Heinzer. No crazy setups, just a clean touch. And it's a good base for getting a hit. I think Lamardo must have a very, very strong defense and a very weak attack and not a lot of patience, so that's now two clean ones that Heinzer's gotten. This is a less interesting bout tonight, I hope. We're just going to skip ahead till I start scoring. That's about here. Heinzer now not giving ground. And Lamardo maybe expecting it and prepping a little bit too deep. And Heinzer punishing it. So good distance control again is just a basic fencing skill. Good distance control again is just a basic fencing skill. I have issues speaking too quickly, and it's worse now that I'm coaching. Clean touch by Heinzer for 7-ish riposte against the flesh. Cool touch, but not flush there. Now he's got his sense of distance in. Anyway, cool touch is a 4 twist, but unnecessary because your opponent is flushing, so you can take 4, hold the 4, and then hit them when they go past. That time, Lamardo a little bit better at reading the distance. One general note is that Lamardo has not changed his fencing at all, which is, if your game plan is small and consistent, that's fine, but it's important not to change it based on things like being down in the second period. Just keep playing your game. If you want to adjust based on what you see your opponent doing, that's great, that's important. If you want to adjust because you think you're doing poorly, you can do that, but if you get scared that you're down, that's just a no-go. We got Heinzer pushing for a change as we end the second period. which is certainly a novel change from the first part. As we watch Heinzer just sort of put his tip in Lamardo's face. See, there's a third bout that we have, third bout that we watched from Heinzer. There's been no weird backflicks. So it's more of a spice that he uses in his game than a bread and butter. Just good distance control. They're both kind of hesitant. Pokey. Lamardo slightly overcommits. Heinzer gets him on the arm. And again, one of the things good footwork and blade work can get you is a comfort in close spaces. We saw against Koch and Canon for a bit that Heinzer was working in wide spaces. He was pulling, miles back and then coming up closer and then miles back. And here he's doing the exact opposite. He's working in very small spaces, which is extremely impressive now that I pull it out, that he's able to make these crazy adjustments. And a good flick from Heinzer, and this is kind of closing the door on the bout. After this, we're going to take a look at another same deal, that 4 back. Now Lamardo's starting to feel the pressure, but it's also a minute and a half left against Max Heinzer in the third period, which is, pressure time, not panic time, but pressure time. Max is a little impatient, but not throw 5 touches away impatient. Really fast hand. That one's hard to replicate. So this ties back to what we said about the use of the on guard hand of your weapon hand as an active part of your fencing, not just leaving it in a static good on guard. Look at Max pumping his hand, and he's doing it try to confuse the distance just a little bit more. You've seen we don't need a lot from him. He doesn't need a lot of space or commitment to score, for example, that. But he does need a little bit, and he needs so little he's able to use this to pull Lamardo just a little bit too close in. Have Lamardo a little bit overcommit on his prep, or attack into the extending hand, or anything like that. That's a good way to deal with it. Lamardo went low, freezing Heinzer for a bit, and then the foot isn't moving, just the hand. So if you ignore where the hand is, then it's fine. Here we are in the end of the third, in the 64, and Max is still fresh as a daisy.
Then Vismara and just carried.
Stream quality is not 1080p. But you can see like European is much clearer than brrrrrr. It's completely bothering me. And the lighting is, the encoding is bad. It's shitty video. Anyway, 30 seconds gone, nothing much happening. Heinzer hand up this time. We're all straight flesh. Best flesh in the world.
Trademark locomotive flesh attack. And there's no stopping that.
Let's lower the volume a bit so I don't have to listen to King. Yeah, Max breaking the distance. Completely changing his on guard. Now he's in 4, which is wild. Now he's right back into 6, breaking the distance. Back into 4. One of the what this does is where his hand is it forces brrrrrr to attack into that 6. Because it just isn't anywhere else. It's not going to be caught by a circle 6. Again, Max goes low. It's sort of a disruptive opposition hit to the thigh.
Really working on the blade there. And then just comes up and underneath.
Or even okay, so an opposition 6 to the thigh. Just clearing out all of the space in front of him. One of the things good blade work can get you. Because he's showing 4 and then the smooth transition into 6. And that was phenomenal. That was just the change in speed there is remarkable. Max takes 6, goes high, full flesh, brrrrrr parries, and then Max stops on a dime, and instead of causing core, gets a step out. Max holding his hand up high, saying, "Please hit me." Max sponsored by a cheese company. Holy cow, I never knew that. Anyway, hand up here, boom, boom. And that first riposte is the really impressive one. All the way out here, exactly as hard as he needs to go. Quick riposte, just moving his hand. Wild flesh, holy cow.
Brrrrrr may have the locomotive flash, but Heinzer's got the 100-meter dash flash. But one thing that Heinzer does know is that he needs to build as much.
Double there. Tried to go low again, didn't quite get it.
Calls for distance. Well, Heinzer thought
I wouldn't want to wait for brrrrrr to hit me. But I suppose once he gets control of the distance, it doesn't really matter.
You just saw Hughes Aubry, the head épée coach for France, who's been working in China over the past Olympic cycle. He's come back to France. Former épée champion from France to lead the French effort into Paris 2024.
When Max holds his hand up and away like that, he's looking for a parry. When Max holds his hand out, he's looking for a flick. Whatever he's showing, he wants to do the opposite. Now he's in a deep 6. Before he was in a 4. Just really quick from Burrell. Heinzer thought he had the initiative, and he kind of did, and Burrell just snuck it out anyway. A really fast recovery.
Time's going to run out here in our opening period, and we go out as we came in, level.
Back into 4, 7, really 2, almost that's a 4, drops down a little bit, becomes a 2, to 8. Yeah, his blade's just this is harder to replicate, but because he's so good at getting his parries clean, I can really strike them from anywhere. I can't do that, you know. If I start a parry from down here, from 8, it ends up in fucking Narnia. But if you can start in 8 and come into 2, come into like a clean 6, it's really good. If you speak French, the Hugh Aubry is active on the French fencing forums. Wow. Not a lot of people able to keep up with Heinzer at full sprint. Not a lot of people able to full speed and then launch into a good lunge like that. Look at that. Look at that footwork. But a really good control by Burrell on the other side. That was a really high level touch by Heinzer, even though he didn't get it, because he went from so fast under control into a really clean lunge. That's really difficult.
He's not going to let it go. All right, Heinzer gets one back there. Heinzer flying in, and again, it's not like Yannick Burrell hasn't seen this before. Heinzer pointing out something on the piste. We know there have been a couple of instances where the air conditioning vents, we get some time is not an issue, but his approach to the fight at this point really is.
back. Burrell, much the bigger fencer, is keeping him at bay. And they're really just trying to look for a way to get in.
Burrell's point.
Burrell is looking for a counterattack opportunity, but not really going to try for it. He'd rather just keep Heinzer away and let the clock run out. Phenomenal parry, though. More good blade work where he keeps it just as small as he can. Pulls it right back to where it needs to go. And you can train small good blade work. It's not that hard. I mean, it's that hard. It's not complicated. Get a target, poke it for a while, poke it with blade work for a while. 10 minutes a day, every day would be plenty.
More calories in this match.
The more you better, but the more the better, but there are diminishing returns. We're at the end of the second period. Burrell does not want the clock quite to wind down. There we go.
He's bleeding.
Heinzer almost in guard in the lunge. He wants to be so deep. Works out for him. See, we were talking about before. Max high, goes low. Tips way up in the air. Keeps it up there, but all slow to get his leg out the way. And Max, more phenomenal blade work to go high-low and get the touch like that.
Couldn't land. He tried for a flick. Couldn't land that. A double here.
Same kind of deal. 4. And there you saw him take his 4 far out. And that was intentional. He couldn't get the counterattack. He tried. And so he went far out to prevent Burrell from taking an angle around it.
Burrell just gets his arm out.
Ooh.
Got his blade all over
So Burrell has figured out that Heinzer is forcing these 4s, and so he's attacking low
right where it needs to be.
And outside, so that it's the hardest attack to parry with the 4. One of the key issues with the 4, if you look at my fingers, that tip has to stay up. If you turn the tip side, the blade can slide through. And that attack from Burrell, his 12th, was exactly that.
Patient control.
And that also is 13th. Where Heinzer was trying for a 2, and Burrell was too far inside for Heinzer to get leverage.
Slipping away here from Heinzer. He needs.
I would not worry about this. Just do good, straight, simple attacks, because
He needs to change something. And the problem is that his options aren't.
it's a complicated high-tech maneuver, and you don't need it until you get to high levels.
Changes the.
Another one there. Heinzer kind of rushed that one. He's got lots of time, but he has no.
Heinzer got that.
That was crazy.
Blocking out
More good blade work, crazy footwork.
Burrell, but that's not going to happen very often. It was a nice move from Heinzer to jump in, block the blade out to the right.
15-11. All right. That was our stream.
That's it.
I hope you learned a little bit. Basically, to sum up, small blade work, knees bent, keep your feet apart, and no matter how fast you're going, and play with the distance and be active. That's how Max Heinzer wins, and how you can too.